Welcome to Volvo Ocean Race headquarters. You join us here as leg 2 continues to be hard fought for the lead. But the big news is Dongfeng Race Team seem to have just edged ahead. Let's take a look at the virtual eye. Well, we're 4 days into this battle from Lisbon to Cape Town, and it's been all about plumbing your way south. But over the last few days, the conditions have really changed. Now, clouds, with them, shifts, and timing those jibes to make your way a little bit west around the light pressure seems to have been what's got Charles Caudrelier in the lead. While we leave the boats in their current position and we take a look at the weather forecasted for the next few days, it looks pretty good. A fast dash to the south, potentially a quick crossing over the doldrums before we get to the equator, and then into that southern ocean and into Cape Town. Well, what's it like to be in the lead? What's it like to be in that pack of 4 with such an incredibly intense racing underway? Well, we spoke to Charles Caudrelier just a few moments ago to get his opinion.
Yes, exactly. It's as I told you before the start, this race is going to be a long inshore of 9 months. Yesterday, for example, we had Axo Nobel like 12 miles behind us, and we see him catching a cloud, and they pass us in 1 hour. We lost like 10 miles, and in 2 hours, like 20 miles. It was crazy.
How is it that you guys are maximizing your jibing technique?
Really, really hard, because jibing means you have to change all the sail from one side to the other side. So it's a big job, and when you are fast, it's not easy because the deck is full of water. So yeah, everybody was exhausted, and we worked very hard, but it was important to take it, and we gain a lot by taking it.
A lot of conversation, I'm sure, between you and Pascal. How's his head at the moment? He must be exhausted.
I think he's more stressed than exhausted, because we had a nice sleep last night. He slept a lot because we were in a strong position. And it's good to take it, because I think since this morning we are in a fight with the other one, and you have to take the good decision. So now we decided to go south, crossing the light spots. Some guys, I think, want to continue west. Bestas is with us.
Talk us through what you're feeling in your fingers and how you're driving the boat.
You really want to know? I feel that the boat is very heavy now, very slow. It's not after when you have been fast. It's really hard to drive in the light air, and the swell is still here. So we have the waves, which are bigger than the wind. It's all swells, and driving is not the most funny part of the job to do today. Quite boring, and you need a lot of concentration. The weather starts to be very hot, so it's not nobody is fighting to drive now.
So that was Charles Caudrelier on board Dongfeng Race Team. Now we will be speaking to Charlie Enright on Vestas 11th Hour Racing, but we thought we'd share with you a little bit of insight that Charles and Pascal Bidegorry, the navigator on board Dongfeng Race Team, they took the time to talk to us before the race got underway. This is what they had to say. Dongfeng Race Team, in the last edition, did very well, finished on the podium. Charles, how do you feel coming into this race? Where do you see yourself in the pecking order?
Oh, it's difficult to... I think we have seen during leg 0 that the level is very even and very high, but we feel comfortable. I think we had more time, we have, I think, better sailor, and the team spirit is perfect, so I feel very good for the start, but of course, we have maybe more pressure than last time, where nobody expected to do a result, and this time everybody is looking us as a favorite, and so for sure a bit more pressure, but I feel quite comfortable with my team.
Well, pressure it is, and Pascal, as navigator, everybody's saying that, you know, in this race it's all about those last few meters. As a navigator, do you feel under particular pressure to deliver those tiny little improvements?
I like this pressure because you work a lot, you prepare plenty of things, and during the competition I like this pressure. What is sometimes we have to be careful, this is the pressure of all people around us, you know, sponsorship,
media,
no, I don't know, family, you know, everything. But I think we know that. And it's good to have a little bit of pressure. Yeah, it's nice.
And what about the relationship between the two of you? Because we have seen it work very well before. Obviously, you're successful in your own sailing. Together, you're fast. I mean, how do you guys resolve disputes? Who has the final word?
Well, it's a lot of discussions sometimes. As I say, We don't have the same way of sailing. That's why it's so rich, I think. I like Number. He has a fantastic feeling. Everybody knows that. So I think together we are doing maybe the perfect navigator. But the problem is we are two, so at one moment we can have different opinion, and then we have to find. But it's not about who is going to have the final call; it's who is going to have the best argument, and we will make the choice like that. Of course, as a skipper, I have to make some choice, but sometimes he takes the choice, and I trust him. So and the opposite. So that's why it's working so well together. But we have a long past of sailing together, against and together. So it's maybe easy for us.
So that was a little insight into that skipper-navigator relationship on the boat that is at the moment in the lead. But trading blows with them is Vestas 11th Hour Racing, and this is what Charlie Enright had to say.
It's pretty shifty. We've had everything from 30 to 100 at times for a wind direction, and it's challenging for sure. There's just a lot of leverage to be had and a lot of different ways to get south, and you can't cover them all. So you got to do what you think's best for your boat, and hopefully that's what puts you to the front. It all looks good on the chart and everything, but doesn't mean it's not nerve-wracking. The longer you can kind of like grind it out and dribble the ball to the corner and get the whole fleet west, the better everyone feels. But we can see Dongfeng, and they made a pretty big break to the west last night. We made a guess kind of where they'd come back onto AIS, and sure enough, there they were, just a couple miles ahead. But then, we sailed into a cloud, and what was 6 miles turned into 14 at the skid, and now I'm looking at them down here just about 4 miles away. So, there's snakes and ladders, and there's a bungee out here, and eventually we'll probably all end up bobbing right next to each other. But it is mentally taxing for sure.
And has there been any moment in the last sort of few hours with all this give and take where you've been surprised by the progress that some of the boats have been able to make, or you've been able to make over them?
Yeah, I mean, we had a really, really bad cloud yesterday, and Dongfeng and Axo got immediately to our west, and a couple skids later they slid back to about 330, 320, and to be able to just get in touch with them, on a good number over the course of one skid was, we were pretty thankful. I mean, everyone's playing with the same data, right? Everyone's got the same grid files, everyone's got the same polar, really the only differences are what you kind of see with your eyes and where you can position your boat in these little microcosms. We're lifting pretty good here, right, Tom? Yeah, so we can keep talking now. The number just got a lot better.
Thanks. I just want to ask you one more while I've got you. You talked about that number. You talked about the number changing. Was it a peel that you think is coming up? Are you looking to jibe here? What is it you're playing with?
Jibe. I mean, like I said, every opportunity that we can get west is great. We just jibed onto a 75, which is a pretty good right number, and we're starting to see, some flicks into the 50s and anything to check back into the group. Happy to be southing on a good number.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much for giving us so much of your time. It's such an intense part of the race. We'll let you keep going. Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Well, that's everything for today. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the Race Expert Twitter feed to get all the action from the race, plus a little bit of a tweak going on with the Volvo Ocean Race app. Now, whenever we push out updates to the tracker, the app will let you know. So if you haven't done so already, download the app. It's the best way to keep in touch with everything that's happening on the race course. Tomorrow morning, we've got another quick fix, and then we'll be back at 1300 UTC with another daily show. We'll see you then.